Welcome. This is our energy update for August 10th through the 16th. And I would like to just slow myself down today to share, because as many of you know that have already been tuned in and listening to me, being sensitives, being empaths, you also have been feeling the intensity. I do believe everybody's feeling the intensity that has been unfolding through this year 2020, where we're all gaining clear vision and trying to adjust and adapt to many changes, so that we can build a strong foundation on things that are sustainable, right? Huge on spiritual foundations. I have noticed that during my sharings, when I pause to speak from my heart, that I say a lot, so please just accept that. A lot of times I do that when I'm pausing, and I don't know if the vibration of helps me gain clarity or whatever, but here I am. So first I would like to just tell everybody to keep surrendering to the divine. The metamorphosis and the transformation that is happening on a micro level within you, and then also seeing it in the collective playing out at the same time, has a lot of people feeling, you know, the push and pull and the intensity of it. It is to be expected. The first thing that I wanted to share today is a reflection on the importance of balance within us energetically, and also the understanding that because we are in shifts and change continually, that you may not always feel in balance. I know I have not. We are at the galactic center. Sirius, the sun, and Earth all just aligned for the Lionsgate portal, in which we are still in right now. So there's frequency coming from the galactic center. We are energetic beings, so we're feeling it. We're adjusting to it. So it's going to be quite common for many people not to be feeling balanced, and really undergoing a whole new reboot in our energetic system. And that includes our nervous system, right? So think of us as conduits, because we are, as above, so below. And the importance of doing whatever it is that brings you peace and joy. I want to start out this energy update today with a few of the symptoms, and many people across the whole globe are talking about this, and I don't know if everybody's connecting the dots of this, but the vertigo that is to be expected right now as we are integrating and changing the frequency of ourselves, the planet, and with the support of the universe. I know a lot of people experienced, with the Lionsgate portal now open and still is, they have people that have never felt or experienced anxiousness are experiencing that. It is our nervous system adjusting to these frequencies, and really more and more integrating our light bodies into the density of our flesh, our body, right? And that goes for Gaia as well. I did notice that 2 nights ago, when I was feeling this strange energy, I woke the next morning to some information on a lot of earthquakes happening. And so we are connected and interconnected to everything. Plus we have a mass fear-mongering going on with all those energies in Capricorn of the world stage, right? Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter. So even if you're not in high feelings of fear, as an energetic being, as a light worker, as a way shower, it's very possible that you're feeling that energy, because it's a dense energy. Fear is. Fear is an absence of light. So don't judge yourself, and we're gonna keep unfolding this revealing of information, of truth. And like I shared on the Lionsgate portal, truth does not need any defending. So pay very close attention to yourself and conflict this week. Butterfly Spirit is a first oracle card that I pulled. I share this on my personal page on Facebook. And for this week, we got the Butterfly Spirit. Transformation is beautiful. And when I first flipped this over, I was like, the hell if it is. Well, this message is a reminder that we are in a metamorphosis. We are in a death and a rebirth, right? With Pluto in Capricorn. And the importance of focusing upon joy right now and the beauty right now is super important. The Master 11 number here is a shift. We are in the shift. And I shared this as well last week about the importance of finding joy no matter what it is, and finding the beauty in everyday life. You know, get yourself out in nature, because metamorphosis is not always pretty, and this week is going to be huge. I say rest up, go into your stillness, and focus upon the beauty of it. And I'm not saying to dismiss anything that rises within you, but when we feel into the feeling of gratitude and joy and creativity, which is definitely on right now with the sun in Leo, right? That is our heart. The sun and Leo both represent our heart. Transformation is not always pretty, but when we can surrender to the divine and trust the divine process, it allows us to feel less restricted, less tension within us. And apparently I'm not doing, I don't want to say not great, but I'm experiencing that, because tension has been. And that's when you go in, do your breath work, run yourself an Epsom salt bath, and release, visualize consciously releasing of tension, and that you do not have to be in fear. So the push-pull is going to continue this week, because on Thursday Mars squares Pluto directly, and so Mars is representative of our ego identity, our personality. This is on a micro level, on a macro level, because it can create power struggles with it. Pluto being this death and rebirth, which I find perfect for the metamorphosis that we are all undergoing this week. Squares are considered a hard aspect, and one of the astrologers I listened to that resonated deeply with me was like a traffic jam. Like, we're going through all this transformation, we're gaining our spiritual muscles, we're surrendering to the divine and trusting more and more. And I know for me, I pray so directly, like I'm talking to spirit, just like I would be a person, you know. If you're feeling fear, tell the divine that you're feeling fear, and ask, because we have to ask for assistance while we're going through all of this shift and shit that we're unpacking. So the Mars square Pluto is huge. Watch that you're not getting into arguments with others. Watch the energy that you have within yourself, even of conflict and tension. And it's a perfect time to surrender. I don't really recommend, you know, this is never for predictive for me. It's always about guidance, because we have a yod that has started, I think it started in the sky, which is known as the finger of God, last Sunday, and this is going to go all the way through the new moon in Leo towards the end of the month on the 18th. The finger of God at the center is the sun, and it's almost like divine God creator keeps pointing us back to our hearts. And so I find that amazing and beautiful, and wanted to share that with you guys today. I'm going to go into more cards this week than astrological points, because I brought up already the aspects that I find are huge and significant as they keep witnessing on a world stage that Capricorn energy and dismantling it, and it coming into some hard aspects between Mars and Pluto. Pluto being that deep subconscious or hidden things, but it's also death and rebirth. On a micro level, with it being in a square with Mars, this could be, I thought, my personality believed in this. There's information presented. It could be cognitive dissonance, which is huge right now. It could be a conflict in arguing. We could see this on the world stage with some political fuckery some more, as if we haven't seen enough. But remember to see through all these illusions and keep this Mars square Pluto freshly in your mind this week, and realize that if any kind of tension comes up within you, or you see it on the world stage, to not play into it. Fill yourself up with the divine presence and allow yourself to find the parts of joy. Nature is a huge part, and constantly nature is changing. So when we surrender to the divine, it's a knowingness within us that we can trust the process of what is unfolding right now. And like I said last week, not accepting people's egoic personalities, but at the same time seeing them as the Holy Spirit would see them, even yourself. None of us are perfect. The earth plane is very intense. I know for me, if I would have realized the power of who we truly are without the restriction of religion and schooling and conformity and government even, and not being so manipulated. And that's what we're seeing unfold as well too. But if everybody realized to love themselves first, to shine their beautiful little lights, if they would have been taught to love themselves first in the heart space, we would see a whole different thing on the world stage right now. So I will always point you back to yourself, and that you're a powerful, beautiful, sovereign being. It took me 40 years to realize it myself. And then the transformation and the metamorphosis as well is when people do not resonate with you anymore, because you are changing and you are shifting and you are coming into your light, right? I'm remembering. Metamorphosis to me is really us shedding things that we never were in the first place. And it all comes from the human condition, right? And this even goes back to the Bible. Where did any man walking have the power to manipulate what is in it, to leave out important things that were in it? And so for me and mine, I always respect that and know the truth, because everything's been manipulated. Everything that we were ever taught is usually the opposite. And when you have that realization and you have that spiritual awakening, it is not always pretty. It is that metamorphosis. It can get ugly. It can get like birth, right? The death and the rebirth is huge, especially with this Mars squaring Pluto this week. And it's going to continue. We're going to continue to see these things unfolding within us. We're going to continue to have revelations. But when Jupiter and Saturn move out of Capricorn and into Aquarius, I think that we'll start seeing more and more light. We'll see how that goes. So which card deck do I want? I want to start out with the Moonology. Actually, we'll start out with the Divine Feminine first, because I feel like we need some feminine nurturing love. So from the Divine Feminine, we will pull a beautiful card. God, Creator, Source, Supreme White Light, call upon your presence to be with me, to help guide my words through communication, so that I can share messages today that enlighten, empower, and resonate with all souls who come in and listen. I give thanks in advance. Also remember that some things that do not, that you experience roadblocks on this week. We have a Mercury square Uranus, I do believe, today. So this could be many of you rethinking about new creative ways. I know, like I've shared before, the squares can be hard aspects, but they could also be an energy of really getting things done within you. So you could have aha moments within your thinking. A new way of valuing yourself. You could be rethinking about things that, you know, really did not work for you anymore. And so reflection mode is also huge. If you're feeling ungrounded and dizzy and vertigo, welcome to the club. Again, it is that frequency that we are in right now with the galactic center, with Sirius, the sun, and Earth lining up for this portal of energy that we're in. Dakina, the enlightened feminine. My gut instinct is wise beyond reason. I trust my intuition to guide me. More important than ever. And this is one of the biggest things that humanity's been manipulated on. We have that interconnection with God, Creator, Source, always. And many of us, if you're an empath, intuitive like myself, as a child that's came in, whether you're an indigo or a crystal or whatever, just to throw human labels on them, right? If you're sensitive to energy, I remember even as a little child, knowing the truth and the way in my heart, but then all the conditionings and the restrictions begin. So now more than ever, trust your intuition to guide you. Do not second guess yourself. I'm a work in progress, man. I just shared with my husband recently, you know, this receptive feminine energy. I can feel the energy. That's what made me start these collective energy updates in the first place, is after my awakening, because my intuition is on, and that is a God-given gift that we all have. So no matter what is presented to you, there's a lot of false prophet information out there right now. And what I mean by that, it is not just spiritual, it's humans sharing things that are untrue or true, but you have to have that trust of your intuition to guide you. She's badass. So really stepping into your psychic and intuitive abilities, which was part of what I was talking about earlier, about many things being left out of the Bible about Yeshua. You know, that he visited in his younger years the mystery schools. He learned how to trust his psychic and intuitive abilities. He didn't run from the issues. He knew about the issues coming before they happened because he was psychic and intuitive. And when you trust that, you're in alignment with your heart. Listen to that language first, and that's where you can gain a lot of wisdom, a lot of clarity. And in order to do that, you know, the world's taught us to be busy, busy, busy. This is the perfect time in this pause to connect and really do trust your intuition. So we'll go with the Moonology Oracle next. I think it's significant to mention again that, yeah, because the finger of God is pointing to the sun, which is our heart and soul. And we're in that energy right now, as we are still the Lionsgate energy as well. We got the new moon in Leo, and that is happening on the 18th. So a new moon, planting time. Confidence is the key to your success. This is the time to trust your intuition, to gain your spiritual muscles, to trust yourself, to listen to your heart, right? Leo, heart space, your soul. Listen, listen, listen to it. Do not ignore it. And what the difficult part is, which I'm still a work in progress myself, is to not allow my egoic identity, my mind, to second guess myself. Go with that first gut intuition, God-given gift, reminder. With the new moon coming up on the 18th, plant the seed of that. You know what? I'm saying goodbye to these things that never worked for me. I am releasing all this baggage right now with this Lionsgate portal. I'm stepping through this threshold of light into my true sovereign identity. that comes from my heart, and my heart is illuminated. It is also beautiful. Thank you for reminding me that many of you may be feeling the heart fluctuations again. That is your heart expansion. That is your thymus thump. And you can take a few fingers and above your heart, tap on that if you're feeling a flutter in your heart or thymus. Another thing is I'm feeling the energy of the throat chakra activating. So if you're feeling a scratchy throat, or if you're feeling like a dryness in your throat, understand that with all this light energy that our consciousness is influencing it. The universe, we're talking back and forth, right? A lot of expansion in the heart chakra and a lot of throat chakra energy coming up. I started experiencing throat chakra one pretty intensely last night. So we'll pull a chakra oracle as well, since that's coming up. Again, with the feminine energy and the Leo new moon card with the confidence, that is your solar plexus. This is your sacral chakra. Many of you may be feeling an increase in your sexual drive. Do I say this in just a physical way of reproduction? No, I'm feeling this is in your creative energy expanding at this time, and it could be having your kundalini and your sexual energy on the rise as well right now. So from the chakra oracle, what do we got here? Thanks so much for being here with me today. If you're new, please do like, subscribe, share this out. I love to come on and just intuitively share what I'm feeling, because I do feel the collective energy above as well, every one of us. Okay, right ear downloads again. I'm getting one right now. So many of you may be feeling ringing, buzzing in the ear. Frequency is changing. We are changing. And my vision's been wonky again as well. So we're on a quest, and we got the throat chakra. As I just said, it's being activated and changing. This is also, you know, arms out with her, like I was saying, to surrender to the divine. That's huge. Surrender and trust the divine, even if you don't feel it initially, because it's so intense right now. Allow yourself to go on that path, down this path, surrender to the divine, trusting your intuition and knowing that there's a divine plan. Start allowing your creative energy, your joy, do something that's creative physically, to put you on a quest inward, to connecting to spirit, to divine, and also trusting that, taking that inner journey and that quest within. And I find it amazing that the throat chakra came up. You know, this could be a version of your old self looking upon your new self. This could be representative of your ego looking upon you going, oh no, she's surrendering to her higher voice. She's surrendering to the divine's voice. I'm scared. I'm in fear. It's okay. Again, Mars is in a conjunct with Black Moon Lilith. Mars is our ego. Black Moon Lilith is our deepest fears, and a lot of that is the original, which is thinking we're separate from Creator, feeling like we're outcasted, feeling like we are dirty, you know, all these metaphoric terms or symbolic terms, letting go of them. Let go of them. No matter how many times you need to do it, surrender to the divine. Go into your heart space. Have confidence in your intuition. Have confidence in your feminine energy. I'm feeling that huge since the sun went into Leo and then we had that Lion's Gate. Like, whoa. And that feminine energy, that receptive energy, is our creative life force. So, what else do I want to pick? I think we'll do a few from the Twin Flame Journey. Confidence is key, so if I pointed you to your quest within, to trust your intuition, start having that confidence, and with this new moon on the 18th, plant the seeds of going, you know what, I will plant the seed of a new way with me, and a lot of us are letting go of or you have the availability to let go of a lot of emotional trauma, wounds, karma, step through this light into a new way of manifesting a life that we all would like. So, King of Pentacles, so this is embodying it. This is finding your stability. The 2020 is also the 4-year, which is all about new foundations. The King knows what it takes to be stable. Look at the beautiful birth. It's like you're holding your inner child. You're nurturing your inner child. You're finding out who your true identity is because you've released and went through that metamorphosis process to see the joy in who you truly are, to allow it to spark that creative energy within you, to build your strong foundation right now. Time is now. We were taught to be busy, 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 and if the power of you getting up in communion with Spirit every day is so freaking important. With the energy in Capricorn of restrictions and this, that, and the other, use this time to utilize your strength, building a strong foundation within you and around you. 7 of Cups is fantasy and temptation. This card reminds me of Neptune. This is not being so lost in your emotions that you're disconnected from your body, right? This is not giving in to the temptation to procrastinate on your inner work, your inner journey. And 7 of Cups, I don't know in the traditional tarot if this is Neptune, but for me, Neptune is on a low expression, escapism, escaping from the emotions. But on a harmonious level, it is knowing that you're divine, knowing that you're a powerful being of light. Allow your beautiful imagination, so childlike, to push you forward on a new journey, you know? Surrender in this too as well, I see, with her arms back and just in that white light, surrendering to the divine process. Even if you don't feel it at the time, work on it. Plant that new confidence by trusting your intuition and your creative life force energy. Sexual energy is so significant. It's been robbed. It's been robbed by people hurting other people. It's been robbed by hurting children when they're innocent. And that's unfolding right now before our eyes as well. It's time to take that prana, that sexual energy, back within ourselves to allow it to be what it's supposed to be in the first place, which is that kundalini. It is our spiritual awakening. It is the power to create and co-create and allowing it to bring a confidence within us. Affirmations are super important at this time because we are in such intense transformation. It's important to find that joy. Even if you are crying on one side of it, connect with Creator, ask for help, fill up with the white light, and allow any of your concerns, feelings, hurts, wounds to be surrendered at this time with this quest. If you do that, I believe you're going to experience what I have in the last couple days, which is feeling the throat chakra and the heart expansion. Sleep has been all over the place, so do whatever it is when you can to always self-care. And I think that is going to round it up. Remember at the end of the day to trust the divine process, and what you can do in this pause is to nurture your inner child. Look at all the things within you that may have been subconscious. Create that stable foundation within you. Being a better person creates a better world, and it happens one by one by one. So I send this to you guys with so much love today. Namaste. Have a good week. Take good care of yourself because it's going to be intense.